Attention. If you owe back taxes to the IRS, watch this urgent message. The IRS is cracking down by hiring 87,000 new agents to garnish your paycheck and put liens on homes and businesses. They can even seize your bank account. The IRS calls it enforced compliance, and now they have the manpower to get you. Penalties and interest on unpaid taxes compound daily. So call One Stop Tax Relief Shop and get the IRS off your back. They're experts in the Fresh Start Initiative, one of the biggest breaks the IRS has ever offered. And no other tax shop gets you more or faster approvals. One Stop Tax Relief has resolved thousands of cases since 2014 and saved clients millions of dollars. Call now for a free consultation. Connect with tax professionals who get the IRS off your back.
Call 800-605-0688. 800-605-0688.
One Stop Tax Relief Shop.
80% of falls in the home occur in the bathroom. Don't put yourself or a loved one at risk. There's a safe bathing system for everyone's budget.
Enjoy a bathing experience that combines safety, comfort, and excellence. If assisted living is not for you, a BCI walk-in tub may well be the answer, giving you the safety and freedom to live independently. A BCI walk-in tub is the most affordable and comfortable walk-in tub in the market today. With our dual drain technology, your tub will drain quickly, and for those that still like the feature of a shower, our two-way bliss gives you both a handheld and overhead shower head. We offer the best financing in the industry with payments as low as $99 per month or no interest, no payments for 18 months with approved credit. For comfort, safety, price, and selection, it's got to be BCI Walk-In Tub. Be one of the first 50 callers and save $1,500.
Call 800-354-4377, 800-354-4377 for a free no obligation in-home consultation.
The Turnpike Sports Book Report is brought to you by BorgataSports.com. Your favorite casino is now your favorite sportsbook. Available anywhere in New Jersey, BorgataSports.com. Sign up at BorgataSports.com using our promo code PIKE, that's P-I-K-E. Make your first wager of $20 or more and you'll get $100 in free bets. That's $100 in free bets when your first wager on Borgata Sports is $20 or more. Get into the action with BorgataSports.com. Must be 21 years or older and in New Jersey to place a bet. Terms and conditions apply. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
And welcome to another edition of the Turnpike Sports Book Report. I'm Doug Weischadle here with Dave Weischadle. We're here to give you a whip-around look at some of the news stories that have happened in the sports betting industry from the past week. This week, we've got state and national reports. We've actually got a year-to-date sports betting number that we're going to be talking about through the month of November.
Okay.
We've got the full year's worth of numbers for New York State's mobile betting industry.
Okay.
And also we've got the first full month of Maryland to talk about.
Maryland
as well.
was damn impressive.
Very impressive.
You know,
start for
if you
Maryland.
follow Chris Altruda on Twitter, you'll
Yes.
see those numbers, which were incredibly impressive.
Yep. And deals segment, we've got deals involving Churchill Downs in Pennsylvania. We've got notices from Bet365. We've even got a deal involving Kambi and Rush Street Interactive.
Okay.
Industry updates. We've got, well, I'm considering possibly one of the first Ohio sports betting casualties.
Okay. What's that?
It's,
well, I guess
I'm
you're teasing it right now.
Exactly.
Okay, yeah.
see how that works in the industry? It's called a tease.
So, okay.
We've also got some news coming out of FanDuel for their Super Bowl commercials. Everybody's been seeing those right now. Very interesting ideas that they're promoting there. And we're going to end up the show with our legislative roundup, where we've got news coming out of Massachusetts that's going through all their sports betting application hearings. We've got news out of Kentucky, Maine, and Hawaii to even discuss. So let's jump right in and get started with our state and national numbers. As we're moving along here, we've gotten certain states reporting their December numbers, but let me go back a little bit to November. For the national side of the industry, the total amount wagered on sports betting through legal avenues, and that's the phrasing a lot of people are using now, the legal websites in the U.S., totaled $79.4 billion so far in 2022 through the end of November. I know we're in January.
Well, let me guess why we're talking about November. It's certain states don't
don't figure it's a priority to get them out right away. One of those is Arizona. Is Arizona one of them?
Arizona's reported their numbers, yes.
No, yeah, but they haven't reported it for December yet. They haven't reported it for the entire year.
No, so they're...
and there's another one it's kind of...
Illinois, too.
Slow, yeah, Illinois. Yeah.
But right now, through the end of November, $79.4 billion in the year of 2022. That has already passed, with 1 month to spare, what the entire industry had for all of 2021. 2021 was $57.8 billion. This is $79.4 billion.
Okay.
That's a $20 billion difference.
Well, I mean,
in the industry.
There are more states.
Yes.
More states. So.
But again, those are of the
Plus,
states
we had
reporting.
We had a World Cup.
Too, so.
We had a World Cup.
I don't know if that really impacted a lot.
I'm
wondering. I mean, if you think about it, did the World Cup do better or worse?
Well, if you're only doing
it, if
you're only doing it up into November,
yes,
probably not. But certainly, the World Cup is really going to boost things up when certain states kind of figure out maybe we should get our yearly numbers in on time.
Well, again,
Arizona, Illinois,
not going to rush them.
Okay,
not going to rush them. Whenever they want to put them.
Yeah, I was talking about Chris Altruda. He's out in Illinois. We should send him an email. We need your Illinois numbers now.
They'll be coming out soon.
Now.
They'll be coming out,
okay.
Especially when you start seeing some of the current month. The current month right now for reporting is December. When you start seeing about 4 or 5 states into the reporting, that's when you start getting the inkling that Illinois and Arizona may be ready to release their previous month's numbers.
Okay.
So we're getting there. We're at that point where we may see them.
Yeah, take your time. Yes. Get it right. We're not all waiting.
But one of the other big stories to talk about this entire year was the launch of New York sports betting. That happened January 8th.
Yeah.
Mobile sports betting, I should say, just to clarify. And the full year numbers for 2022 for New York, because they just released their December numbers too. Mm-hmm. They do the weekly handle revenue numbers. They're already starting with the
New York's weekly numbers.
Week in January,
New York's weekly numbers beat some states.
Yes,
in handle anyway. So.
What I always found interesting with New York's mobile numbers, when you watch them week to week, it's a little bit more dramatic than when you see the overall monthly numbers, because you get to see the highs and lows of the revenues, of the handles, the taxes. And with that 51% tax rate, that's an incredible number to see how it develops week to week.
No offense to people who actually do it, but I don't sit and wait for New York's numbers. You sit and wait for New York's numbers. Hey, the New York hasn't sent their weekly numbers out yet. It's on the website. It's not here. Where is it? I was like, so what?
Again, a lot of the states do it at their own speed, and also what drives me nuts is they don't do it at the same time almost every year. New York.
Well, when does New York usually get their numbers out?
New York
is it a Thursday at 2:00?
New York has been doing
that seems
any
to be
day and every day. Sometimes I've seen them Wednesday nights. Sometimes I've seen them Thursday nights. Sometimes I've seen them Friday mornings, that's the most annoying one.
When they first started sending out their weekly numbers, wasn't it like a Friday afternoon kind of thing?
No, it was actually a Thursday night kind of thing.
Thursday night kind of thing?
When they first started.
Okay.
Which, by
As
the way...
you can tell, I'm not sitting around waiting for them.
By the way, New York, you are not conducive to our taping schedules.
Yeah.
But get going with that. But again, we have New York numbers.
Hey, but God bless those people who do it, sit and look for the numbers, because they're really excited when the numbers come out.
Well, here, let's
I'm not one of those people.
Let's talk numbers right now anyway. We've got New York for entire 2022. By the way, before we get into this, the expectations for the first year's handle for New York sports betting mobile sports betting, was somewhere between, and depending on who you talk to, $15 billion and $18 billion.
Okay.
Mobile handle for all of 2022.
This is actual, right?
This is mobile handle.
Yes. And this is the actual number you're going to give us.
This is the full year.
We had projections. Now we're going to give you the actual.
This is $16.2 billion. So the projections were kind of in the ballpark.
Yeah.
15 to 18 billion. We got 16.2. Mobile revenue of $1.36 billion. Tax revenue of $692.8 million.
Mm-hmm.
So huge numbers coming out of New York, dwarfs a lot of other states out there. The state during the year had 4 straight months of at least $140 million in revenue. New York is now number 2 all-time revenue behind New Jersey. This is all post-PASPA.
This is post-PASPA. Okay.
So they've jumped already up to number 2 in terms of revenue, all-time revenue.
Wow.
So that's an incredible number.
I'm surprised they jumped past Nevada. But
everyone's jumping past.
I guess
Nevada.
so. Is Nevada number 3 still?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but again, Nevada's been the longest one running. So
sure.
They
when we talk about post-PASPA,
it's a little different situation. Yeah. The state tax revenue, 51%, which, by the way, from all reports, is going to stay for a while.
Yeah.
I know they talked about getting it removed or changed
or something like that.
Did a sliding scale, however you want to do it. They are the nation's leader all time in tax revenue post-PASPA.
Okay. Wow.
They jumped over Pennsylvania, which by more than double what Pennsylvania reported for 2022.
Well, like I said, New York has a 51% tax rate.
Yes.
So, yeah. So you're going to get there in a hurry.
Yeah. So that's where we stand with New York for all of 2022. Iowa released their December sports betting numbers.
Okay.
With that report, they became the 12th state to pass the $5 billion mark all-time post-PASPA in handle.
All right.
Maryland. Let's talk Maryland. Maryland
big numbers.
It was long in coming.
It was worth it. I guess,
it was like over 500 days before
Speaking
they
as
launched
a
mobile
non-Maryland resident, it was kind of worth it if you sit back and look at the numbers.
Well, with their December sports betting report, and these are the numbers that are really important, it was the $85.2 million in total monthly revenue and $82.3 million in mobile revenue alone.
Good.
So 97% of the industry turned mobile in their very first month. They also were one of just 5 states to surpass $80 million in monthly revenue in the post-PASPA era. New York, New Jersey, Illinois, Pennsylvania. And now we have Maryland, $80 million in revenue in a month.
Okay.
What's interesting about Maryland, and I'm wondering if this is going to be from here on in, to be a top 5 monthly handle state, you're going to have at least $500 million. To get into the top 5, because we the last couple of months the 5th spot, 5th and 6th were just around 400 million.
Yeah.
Now we have 5 states that are now 500 million.
I don't think they're not going to get in the top 5. They're a very good sports betting market. There's no way they're going to be in top 5.
Maryland's already top 5.
Well, they're not going to stay there because let's be honest, Ohio is out there. Ohio and Pennsylvania.
Yeah. So. Well, we won't see Ohio's effect until we see the January numbers. So right now, congratulations to Maryland for being a top 5. I wonder if that's going to push out Pennsylvania from the top 5.
Well, like I said, I think Ohio's there. I was planning on Ohio pushing out Pennsylvania anyway. So we'll see.
One of the other ones you got to look at. What if Ohio pushes out Nevada too? Nevada is up.
I don't know.
Nevada is up. I don't know if it's a consistent $500 handle.
That will be interesting. So I wasn't even conceiving of Ohio beating out Nevada.
I mean,
it could very well could.
You're always going to have New York number 1.
Yeah,
just sheer population activity wise.
New Jersey and Illinois are kind of fighting.
They're
kind of fighting.
Third is usually Pennsylvania.
Well, no, third is either New Jersey or Illinois.
Third is going to be actually probably Illinois or Maryland now for a while, and we'll see who rounds out the top 5 there. It's going to be one of those 5 we already just talked about here.
We'll see. It should be interesting.
But it's very interesting to see Maryland's impact on that, and also one of the other interesting numbers that came out of the very first month of Maryland's total sports betting industry, retail and mobile. FanDuel had 50% of the market.
Wow. Okay.
49.4% to be exact, but they had $236.2 million in handle in the first month. That's good for 50% of the Maryland market. DraftKings was second with 33% of the market. So everybody else is already way behind. So, again, top 2 are always going to be FanDuel and DraftKings.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah.
A couple other quick notes. West Virginia set a new state revenue record with their December numbers. They had a December revenue of $8.7 million. They broke that by almost $2 million. The previous record was 6.7 in October. Montana set a new handle record. And we're not talking huge numbers for Montana, but they set a new handle record in December. And one other quick note from Sport Radar, and I saw this and I thought this was very interesting, regarding NBA games this year. And I thought I'd round the segment out with this. NBA games this season have gone over the Las Vegas betting totals by 51.5% this season.
Wow, okay.
So just something to keep in mind on the betting side of everything.
Okay, yeah.
Let's head on over to our deal segment. We're going to start off talking Bet365.
Okay.
And I said at the top of the show, we have a deal involving Churchill Downs, and this is one of the deals Bet365 is involved in. Churchill Downs has announced that Presque Isle Downs in Pennsylvania entered into a multi-year agreement with a subsidiary of Bet365.
Okay.
It's for online sports betting and iGaming market. The one thing this is going towards is Churchill Downs' movement out of the sports betting and iGaming industry. They had launched their Twin Spire brand.
Yeah.
Actually, it started out as Bet America. Then it went back to Twin Spire, which is also their horse racing app. What they've been looking at doing is just licensing themselves out to other companies. They got a deal with Bet365. It's a multi-year deal. They're going to be doing it just for Pennsylvania access.
Okay.
So it'll be interesting to see exactly where CDI goes.
Yeah. Didn't they do something in New Hampshire, too? I think they bought a
historical horse racing.
Yeah,
to bring in historical horse racing. Matter of fact, they did a deal earlier this year with Exacta System, which is a historical horse racing company, for more market access for the HHR machines.
I got to check those out. I mean, I really haven't even played them. They're in the news all the time, the historical horse racing thing. I don't... You know, it's one thing to talk about them. It's another thing to experience them. I think it's one of those things that I really have to try out to really talk intelligently on it, because I've never tried one.
Well, this goes all towards CDI becoming more online horse racing. And especially now that you have DraftKings and FanDuel both introduced horse racing products.
Yeah.
I think they gotta go where their strength is, and quite honestly, Churchill Downs is probably the most trusted name for horse racing.
Sure.
Regarding Bet365, Bet365 also made mention of they have 5 newly established entities that were incorporated after the beginning of their fiscal year. They've got Hillside, Bet365 Hillside, that's their subsidiary Hillside.
Okay.
From Maryland, Massachusetts, Ohio, Pennsylvania, and they've even got a Hillside Fantasy division for fantasy sports.
Okay.
So Bet365 is making moves, I guess you can say, behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Before, anything else.
Diversifying.
And I'm very curious to see what their fantasy product is going to look like.
Yeah.
I'm not too familiar with what they've done. They did a deal with Scout Gaming earlier in the year for a fantasy product. It's registered in multiple states, but I haven't seen it yet.
No.
So I don't know exactly what that is all about, and I would love to see it. Over in the world of Rush Street Interactive, Bet Rivers, Play Sugar House, depending on what state you're in, you've got some different brand there. They did an extension.
Is there any state that it's still Play Sugar House?
Connecticut.
Oh, is it really?
Connecticut.
Still Play Sugar House?
They haven't changed it.
Okay.
Yep.
Because they changed really quickly. I mean, in New Jersey anyway, I was on Play Sugar House, and one time I looked at my phone.
Yes.
I had a Rush Street app on my phone. It was it just replaced Sugar House.
Yep. But right now, Rush Street Interactive did an extension with their deal with Kambi, which, by the way, is great news for Kambi shareholders, because when I remember when Fanatics was doing their presentation in front of Massachusetts Gaming Commission, they announced Amelco, or they mentioned Amelco as being their platform and not Kambi, and Kambi stock took a tumble.
Okay.
And when Kambi announced this deal with Rush Street, their stock went up a bit.
Okay.
Didn't recover from that huge drop after the Fanatics.
That kind of broke news in the gaming industry. I guess Fanatics was kind of keeping it quiet until they had to. They had to actually bring it out and show people.
Well, it was actually one of those well-known secrets.
Yeah.
Everybody knew they had purchased the software to create that platform using Amelco.
Yeah.
And again, when they went into the special session, or what they call executive session.
Yeah, I guess that was behind closed doors.
Yeah, they didn't want to disclose what their operating system was, but they actually did it in the meeting anyway.
Okay.
So, but they didn't show it to the public. They showed it only to the gaming commissioners. That's it for our deals segment. Let's head on over to some industry updates.
You know what I'm saying? For everybody. Oh. Game starts at 20, bet slip is empty. I gotta call KG. KG, what up?
I got nothing for you, Fox.
Come on. What you got, huh?
And it's spa day, Jamie. You don't interrupt spa day.
Okay. Gracie, what's up? I need some tips.
Jamie, you want a tip?
Yeah. now. Come on, somebody. Jalen, what's up, man?
You want a tip?
Yeah.
You really want a tip?
I really need some tips.
Don't call somebody on live TV, Jamie Foxx.
Well, you answer. Have other friends anyway. Marshawn, Barry, holla.
Jamie Foxx. Hey, what's up with it, Fox?
Listen, I need some tips.
I like L.A.
L.A.?
No, Dallas.
Dallas?
Dallas not the
Dallas?
fit. We gotta get to Miami. How about Detroit? Nah, Barry over there.
You know what? I'm gonna call y'all right back. Vanessa, I need your help.
I got a tip for you. Always go with your gut.
I like that. Going with my gut. Let's go with our gut.
We're going to start talking about the Ohio sports betting industry and what just happened to former Cleveland Browns quarterback Bernie Kosar.
This is unbelievable. I mean, I
don't know if it's unbelievable.
It's the go ahead. You want to say it, but it's the ceremonial first bet we're talking about, right?
It was a ceremonial first bet placed
which wasn't technically a ceremonial because it was an actual bet.
It was an actual bet. Yes, It was done by Bernie Kosar, former Cleveland quarterback, and also he was, at the time he did this, one of the radio guys for the games on air. And what he did was he worked with Tipico to place a $19,000 bet on the Cleveland Browns for their game against the Steelers, which was the following weekend.
Yeah, that was the ceremonial first bet.
And all of the proceeds from the bet were going to charity.
Yeah.
That was announced. It was announced publicly, and what happened was after he did that bet, he received a notice from the team saying that since he's technically part of the team because of the radio broadcasting that he does for the Browns themselves, it was against the league's gambling policy. He was gone. They basically fired him from his broadcasting job.
My question is, didn't anyone check this out before this happened?
I mean, it's one of those things. I don't know. It just seems like no one is really up to speed on what they can and can't do in some of these instances.
This was publicized beforehand, right? You would think someone from the Cleveland Browns or the NFL or somebody say, "Hey, Bernie, you can't do that." You know?
It also could have been the fact that they didn't get a ruling on it from the Ohio Gaming Commission until after he did it. There could be a whole bunch of different moving parts to this situation.
I'm very curious, now that we're mentioning it, how teams are handling this. Certainly there are gambling policies in the league that have to be communicated to coaches and players. And did someone just miss announcers, or what's going on?
Again, a lot of moving parts.
You get the memo on the meeting, Bernie, but why wasn't he told?
I hate to say this,
what
but
is that process
there's
like?
a lot of miscommunication. There's a lot of gaps that are happening between the NFL and their people, whether it's a player or staff. You had the Miles Austin situation.
Just before wasn't this publicized, hey, Bernie Kosar is going to make the first bet? Didn't someone see that in the paper or in a press release and get to Bernie and say, "Hey, Bernie, you better not do that"?
Again, you also got to factor in what was going on with the Ohio Casino Control Commission. They've been leveling fines against everybody since the beginning of this. They've got, it's 5 big ones that were sent out already.
How about the Browns organization?
Well,
didn't they read something? Bernie's going to do the first ceremonial bet. Maybe we should tell him he shouldn't do this.
Well, first of all, the Browns should have actually checked with the NFL more so than Ohio.
Yeah.
That may be on the Browns. It could be on Kosar. It could be on Tipico. We don't know. There are a lot of moving parts, a lot of entities involved here. And
I think probably if you travel with the team, don't bet.
if you're
just do a blanket thing. Don't bet.
Again, it depends on some of the teams.
And I don't blame Bernie on this either. By the way, he should have been told.
But again, you got to realize some of the teams don't consider their radio people part of the team.
Well, like I said, if you travel with he travels with the team.
But if he's getting a check from the Browns, or is he getting a check from the radio station?
I have no idea.
To do these games, I don't know. Like I said, tons of moving
But like
parts.
I said, I don't blame.
I'm just wondering.
First off, it wasn't for profit either. It's for charity. So,
he announced that too. Maybe that's where they thought there was a disconnect.
I don't know. I don't blame Bernie for this one. He should have been told.
I'm assuming he's getting a chance to appeal.
I hope so.
I haven't heard anything one way or the other.
I hope so.
But the team
I
notified
wonder
him
how
that
this
he had
is
to be removed.
how this is being handled in the news. Is there an outcry? Because
I don't
like
know.
I say, Kozar's a legend in Ohio.
Yeah.
So
he's a legend with the NFL community.
Well,
too,
certainly, but it's certainly in Ohio. Yeah. I mean, let's be honest.
One other industry update: FanDuel announced their Kick of Destiny advertising campaign.
Is this the Gronk commercial?
These are the Gronk commercials.
Okay. Commercial. I saw one. I saw him.
There's multiple ones.
I guess I saw the first one where he was told he has to kick a field goal.
Well, this is
how far of a field goal.
This is why it's interesting. Actually, I don't even know how long a field goal it was, but it's a live kick.
It'll be at the Super Bowl, right?
It'll be during the during the Super Bowl. It'll be broadcast. I don't know where he's kicking
so
from.
they don't know if he's going to be at the Super Bowl.
No, but it's a live commercial.
During
it's be a live commercial.
It'll be during the Super Bowl.
That's why it's interesting. They're doing something live during the Super Bowl. It's not a pre-taped field goal kick. And anyone who put $5 on the Super Bowl itself gets a share of the $10 million in free bets that are up for grabs.
Oh, okay. So this is FanDuel, right?
This is FanDuel.
Okay.
You put a $5
now
bet
this
down
is
on
across
the Super Bowl.
all markets.
Yes.
So I have a FanDuel account in New Jersey, so I should be able to do that, right? Okay, I'll do it.
So this is a very unique and different way to do an advertising campaign. Now, FanDuel's never done a Super Bowl commercial to begin with.
Now, they're
doing this is very unique.
Is my bet contingent on him making a field goal, or how is this working?
He's got to make the field goal for everyone to get the money.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But we talk about pressure. Oh my God.
He's not that bad of an athlete. He might be able to do it.
Not that bad. Yeah, no.
I mean in terms of outside of receiving, he might be able to kick this. I don't know. I've never seen him kick a field goal in any way, shape, or form. So, but again, very unique marketing campaign. Jackpocket, last one, has launched in Arizona in partnership with Circle K.
Yeah, okay.
Are they variety stores or convenience stores? I don't know what the phrasing is nowadays, but they are now in Arizona. That's their 15th state in the United States.
Great.
Let's finish up with our legislative roundup. Very quickly, let's finish up. Starting off in Massachusetts, as everyone knows, they've been doing their sports betting application hearing processes, taking their time. I understand what they're doing.
Well, they have a date of what?
The retail,
January 30th or 31st or something like that?
For the retail.
So, okay.
So the retail properties are already done and awarded their licenses. A couple of the online partners have already been awarded their licenses. What they're doing now over the past week and also into next week are the untethered category sports betting licenses, which are the ones that don't have to partner with a casino.
Okay.
There's only 6 of them. There's still one out there that no one applied for. At the time we're taping, they had already gone through FanDuel, Ballybet, and Better, BETR, the Jake Paul co-owned social sports betting site where it's peer-to-peer.
Okay.
So far, those 3, FanDuel, Ballybet, and Better, have all either met or exceeded the expectations and the requirements and the criteria that the Gaming Commission set out for untethered licenses. There's going to be more coming.
Sure.
As we're doing this, nothing is going to be voted on in terms of the untethered licenses till January 18th. So they're just getting their hearing all set. They're getting moved ahead. As soon as they meet all the criteria, they're in the queue to be voted on. From what I understand, Jake Paul was very, very impressive during his presentation to the Gaming Commission.
He actually did the presentation.
Yep.
Huh?
Well, he's considered the CEO or the COO of the company.
Well, he should be good. He's an online kind of guy. He made his bones online, so he should be really good on a Zoom call.
And he answered all their questions in terms of the sexual harassment suits that were against him, all the other lawsuits that were against him. He answered all their questions directly, and it was supposedly a very, very good presentation. I have to go back and take a look closer at it. I was more concerned with some of the other nuts and bolts stuff that were going on.
Well, look, a social media influencer should be very good on Zoom calls. So he's would be an old pro at that.
Going over to Kentucky, we've got a new bill that proposes to introduce retail sports betting at racetracks, online sports betting across the state, as well as daily fantasy sports and online poker.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw the online poker thing.
Very interesting. You don't see online poker tied in with sports betting too much. So
interesting, not online casinos, though. It's interesting. I think this is going to be a big year for online casinos because a lot of people are concentrating on it. So I'm surprised that Kentucky bill didn't have anything about online casinos.
Well, I think I think they want to get started with some of these other ones that are bringing in a lot of money. So,
I guess so.
But again, the one interesting part of the bill was regarding the racetracks. The racetracks are going to be able to offer 2 additional retail sites as long as they're within 60 miles of the track.
Okay.
So really, when you get a licensed racetrack, you're going to have 3 potential retail sites.
Okay.
Each racetrack. I don't know how many racetracks are in Kentucky. I'm assuming there's a ton.
Yeah, I would guess that's a big sport down there.
Maine released their proposed rules for sports betting. There's a public hearing January 31st. The Gaming Control Unit Executive Director Milton Champion told reporters that sports betting could start this year, 2023.
Wow.
If not early 2024.
Okay.
A couple other news and notes. We've got Nebraska. Hasn't even launched yet. Hasn't gone live. They already have a proposal to change the law.
Okay.
To allow in-state college betting.
Oh, right. Okay.
So I think I understand where the thinking is there.
Yeah.
Money.
If it's a Cornhusker kind of thing.
Exactly.
So.
And Hawaii.
Which has nothing.
No, I don't even think they have a lottery.
Casinos, no lottery, no sports betting, no nothing.
There is a new measure that's been introduced by one of the state representatives to create the first standalone sports book and card room in the state.
Okay.
I don't know which island they're talking about, but it's in the state, and it's basically you have to pay an entry fee to get into it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's only proposed every time we see
kind of like a private club kind of thing. All right.
But it's also like one of those. What is it in Pennsylvania? Type C, where you have to pay for a daily pass.
Well,
to get in.
I was thinking more of like a Texas kind of card room kind of.
They
have a sports book too, so I guess they would tie it all in.
Exactly.
Kind of thing,
so, but again, all these previous ones have failed.
Yeah.
So, good luck.
And so will this one.
I don't know about that. We'll see. They got to start really thinking seriously about competing with some of these other states.
Sure.
So that's it for this week's Turnpike Sports Book Report. Please keep the press releases coming in. info@turnpikesportsradio.com is the email address. If you've been watching on TV, the ticker's been flying by with other news stories that we didn't have a chance to hit. And as always, when you go to turnpikesports.us and click on the blog button, after this show is released, you will see a full print version of the book report, which contains stories that we did not have a chance to touch in either the ticker or on air this week.
And that'll do it for us this week. We'll see you next time on the Turnpike.